Tonight we have a look at an explosive videotape at the center of a dispute between the U.S. and Russia. A case with angry accusations and tactics that harken back to the Cold War days. A purported sex tape of an American diplomat in Moscow has surfaced, and the U.S. is charging it's part of a nasty smear campaign. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross.
There are few Americans in Moscow who are more closely watched by the Russian security services than this man, Kyle Hatcher, the U.S. diplomat assigned to work with religious and human rights groups as a deputy to U.S. Ambassador John Burrell.
There may be some people here who don't like that job description and would like to discredit him in the eyes of his contacts.
And that's what the ambassador says is behind this video of Hatcher, posted on a Russian internet site last month, complete with background music. First, Hatcher is seen in surveillance video on a Moscow street with a cell phone. Audio of a phone call he made is dubbed in, talking with a woman in Russian about getting together. Photos of topless women are then added in. Hatcher says the audio and video were captured several years ago when he admits he made such calls as a private citizen visiting Moscow. Next on the tape, Hatcher is seen in his underwear in a hotel room where he recently stayed. Then the lights are out in the room, and a man and a woman appear to be having sexual relations on the bed. That part of the tape is a fabrication, Hatcher says. And the State Department and the ambassador call it a smear produced by what they say are elements of the Russian government.
I think there are people here who don't want the U.S.-Russia relationship to get better. That's unfortunate.
The video showed up last month on a Russian internet site after Hatcher reportedly rejected a Russian offer to work as a double agent. The site is known in Moscow as an outlet for the security service that replaced the KGB, the FSB.
This is purely 100% FSB operations.
Earlier in the summer, the same site posted a sex video of a British diplomat who was actually caught on tape and forced to resign.
They target any diplomat who might be able to help them. What would you do to keep that off the internet?
It's a dirty trick, though, isn't it?
Of course it is. Whoever said that this business didn't have dirty tricks? It's the nature of the business.
The Russian government had no comment on our report tonight, but the U.S. ambassador in Moscow says he has filed a protest with the foreign ministry and will keep Kyle Hatcher at his post in the embassy to prove that such old Cold War tactics, even if they are tied to the internet, Charlie, just won't work.
All right, our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, thanks very much. And Brian will have much more on this story later tonight on Nightline.